Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. These quarterbacks have so much in common, but this wide receiver has caught passes from both of them. Now, I've told you that the future Hall of Famers have a lot in common, but this quarterback is going to be throwing passes to this wide receiver, and that quarterback is Josh Allen. And this wide receiver has made the quarterbacks that we mentioned in Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes have MVP as well as Super Bowl championships won. This two-time Super Bowl champion is going to be the second player featured on our player analysis series presented by GoBillsPodcast.com. We will talk about him right after the intro. What is up, Bills Mafia? Welcome back to another edition of Player Analysis presented by GoBillsPodcast.com. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, comment, and also don't forget to click that notification bell to be notified anytime that the Go Bills podcast is going live. You can also find out when we are going live by clicking on over to the website, GoBillsPodcast.com. You'll be sent to the podcast schedule. If you click on that, it'll tell you anytime that Go Bills podcast is going live on YouTube as well as on Facebook. We appreciate all the likes and follows that you guys have had for us throughout the weeks. Also, don't forget to comment on there as well. Like I mentioned, it helps get us to where we are trying to go, which is monetization. So let's talk about our second player in our player analysis series. And as you may or may not know, the Buffalo Bills roster is at about 40% new players, and that's why we are going to talk about each and every one of these new players that is coming over from another team or has been drafted by the Buffalo Bills this offseason. This two-time Super Bowl champion that we are going to talk about today has caught passes from Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes and will now catch passes from a potential first MVP run with Josh Allen. This player is Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who likes to go by MVS. And let's talk about what he has done for quarterbacks since 2020. Aaron Rodgers in 2020 won MVP honors, as well as in 2021 with MVS. In 2022 and 2023, Patrick Mahomes was not only a Super Bowl champion, but he won MVP honors in 2022 with MVS as well. And in 2024, can that trend continue? It very well can with this guy. He brings a lot to the Buffalo Bills, and we will talk about that on our player analysis series. So let's get to know MVS from a perspective of all of us. What MVS is going to bring to the Buffalo Bills. He played 58.84% of the snaps last season for his previous team in the Kansas City Chiefs. He is 27 years old, has a height of 6'4", 206 pounds, caught 21 receptions last season for 315 yards and 1 touchdown. He is coming over from the Kansas City Chiefs off of a huge salary that he had. It was about $13 million that he had on the salary, which he was cut in February of this past year, signed with the Buffalo Bills late in the free agency period, signing with Buffalo after having dinner with Josh Allen at his house. Now, he is going to be probably the 4th or 5th wide receiver on this roster, but he will bring a lot to the table for the Buffalo Bills. And what he has done in the playoffs is a strong performance, and that's what you're going to see in a lot of these videos that we're going to talk about coming up in a little bit. So, what he brings to the Buffalo Bills, pros and cons. Blazing speed, number one, 4.37 40-yard dash speed that he clocked in at the 2018 NFL Scouting Combine. He also brings the strong performance in the playoffs, as well as two-time Super Bowl champions that he's won, which is always something that Buffalo is trying to get to. What he did in the playoffs this past season, going up against good cornerbacks and one that we liked on our roster in Taron Johnson, and it'll be a featured video that we'll talk about later on, was incredible. He's also a long strider, and you will see that in every single clip that you see here coming up. He also brings big play ability. He goes deep down the field, vertical threat, big plays, contested catches as well. And he's played with elite quarterbacks throughout his career in Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, as well as Josh Allen. Now, he also ranks 16th out of 128 different wide receivers in terms of run blocking per PFF. Why that's so significant for the Buffalo Bills is because the Bills are trying to run the ball. And as you saw over the second half of the season with our new offensive coordinator in Joe Brady, is that we are going to run the ball significantly more this year. And James Cook's going to get the ball, as well as Ray Davis and even Ty Johnson and possibly even Frank Gore Jr. if he makes the team. That's super important as well, because all these different running backs catch the ball out of the backfield. And as you saw, James Cook will catch the ball out of the backfield about 6 to 7 times throughout the season or throughout a game as well. And that's significantly important because you're looking for good, strong blockers that can create yards after the catch for our quarterbacks and to be able to get more yardage down the field. You're also looking for a wide receiver that can do it all pretty much. He can do it on special teams. He can block. He can catch. He can do everything out there on the field. And that's what MVS is going to bring. Now, he does have some downsides to him. He's not really a short yardage wide receiver, which is an area that he struggles with. And he's not really a slot wide receiver, which is another area that he struggles with as well. But he does have the ability to go deep down the field. He also has issue with running the wrong routes, which is something that we've seen quite a bit through him, but he is going to get better. And I think that just not being a starting player and being a role player may help him a lot this season. He also has a noticeable regression in the last few seasons in terms of his stats that he's had. But that could be just because of injuries as well as some other issues as well. But let's get into some of the videos that we're going to talk about for MVS and what he will bring to the Buffalo Bills as well. So I'm going to start with a video that's a little bit hard for us Bills fans, as we are passionate fans. We are sentimental to the heart, and this is going to hurt like hell. And it hurt me to even put this video in here, but I had to because I want you to see what he will bring to the table for the Buffalo Bills. And this video is hard because it's against one of our outstanding cornerbacks that has been so significant for the Buffalo Bills, probably our most veteran-friendly cornerback on the roster right now in Taron Johnson, who's played throughout his career with the Buffalo Bills. But I had to put this video on there just because of what he did on this route versus Taron Johnson. So let's talk about this one right here.
About the other side, first team All-Pro McDuffie this is the other slot corner, the top 2 slot corners in the NFL, the second team All-Pro this year. But saying go for it, both teams right here, man-to-man coverage, which they didn't do in the past much.
As you can see on this play, the Buffalo Bills were playing man coverage, as Tony Romo is stating. This is against the second best cornerback in the slot game in Taron Johnson, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling coming up with one of the biggest catches on that play on 4th down with Patrick Mahomes. And he really didn't do anything throughout the playoffs, and this was one of his biggest plays that he made in that playoff run for the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is what he will bring to the Buffalo Bills as well, is big play ability, which you will see. And that's one of the things I really like about him, as well as his contested catch radius that he has. So let's talk about the second big play ability on this video that we're going to feature right now.
First down, deep shot down the middle of the field, brought in at the 15-yard line by Marquez Valdes-Scantling.
And you look at that play right there, big play deep down the field, pretty much turning the the field position for the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's one thing I absolutely love about MVS is he's going to go vertical down the field, get deep into opposing teams' territory. He's going to make big plays and contested catch situations. And as you can see, that's a tough catch for any wide receiver to make, especially when you know that you're going to be hit when you come down with the ball. It's going to be a big hit, but he comes down with that play and made an excellent catch for the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that's a big play right there that you saw as well. And actually, I don't believe that was in the Super Bowl, so I do apologize for saying that. I don't think it was in the Super Bowl. I think it was a regular season game. So let's go with our third video here and another deep threat that he made. This play is kind of one of those unorthodox plays that you see, but it shows you what MVS is going to bring to Buffalo, and just another deep threat as well as an incredible catch that he makes as well.
He gets the protection. He goes long and on his back to ice it is Marquez Valdes-Scantling.
As you can see here on this play against the Baltimore Ravens, he makes a great contested catch on his back, icing the game for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, as many of you know, I'm not a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. But what this guy will bring to the table for Buffalo and the upside that you have here for a guy that's coming in on a $2.25 million contract excites me. Because if he can bring what he did for the Green Bay Packers, where he had his best season of 690 yards, then that not only helps Josh Allen out even more, but it makes this wide receiver room so much more enjoyable. And if he can bring the vertical speed deep down the field, he's going to get other guys open like Curtis Samuel, as well as Khalil Shakir, and even Keon Coleman, and possibly even Dalton Kincaid going down the seam for the Buffalo Bills. And that's why I think that this player is going to be a total asset for the Buffalo Bills and what he can do. Now, with the kickoff rules being a little bit different this year, I think that MVS was brought in not only to be the number 4 wide receiver, but also to take on the kickoff return role for the Buffalo Bills. And that's one thing that I think he's going to help out with is the special teams role. And he's also going to help as a blocker. So he's going to probably play the gunner role for the Buffalo Bills, and he'll be matched up on the opposite side of Mac Hollins that we're going to talk about in the next show for the player analysis series. But what MVS is going to bring to Buffalo is incredible. Let's see this last video that you're going to see and just how MVS gets open on this play.
Trying to take the lead. Mahomes goes for it right away. Wide open. Touchdown.
Now, that's pretty much a blown coverage that you see on this play, but it was in the Super Bowl. Big play again, catching a touchdown for the Kansas City Chiefs and pretty much having a good game there as well. As you can see, again, like I said, pretty much big play ability that you're going to get from MVS. So you have a lot of upside that you're going to have for him. Pretty much everything that you see here excites me for MVS, but I'd love to know from you guys, what do you think of the signing of MVS, and what do you think that he will do, possibly even stat predictions that you have for him as well? Let me know in the comments below. We greatly appreciate that. In other news around the NFL, pretty much everything is on a standstill until we get to training camp. We have training camp coming up in the end of July, but we are going to bring you coverage each and every chance that we can with breaking news as well as updates on what's happening with the Buffalo Bills. Our next show that we are going to go live is going to be tomorrow, June 24th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That video will be another player analysis series on another wide receiver that was brought in from the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to feature why he is going to play a significant role in special teams for the Buffalo Bills, what he can bring to the special teams role, as well as to the wide receiver room as a captain of the special teams, as well as captain overall for the Buffalo Bills, is what excites me about this player. If you can guess who this player is, then that would be great. If you don't know who it is, we will talk about him tomorrow on Player Analysis presented by GoBillsPodcast.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on all social media. You can find us on all the different websites as well as different social media platforms, as you can see on our ticker below. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, as well as Threads. You can also find us on our website, GoBillsPodcast.com. Click on over to that new website. You click on the 2024 off-season podcast schedule. You will be looking at our podcast schedule coming up throughout the week. We will have videos coming up this week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday throughout the week. And we are going to have awesome videos for you guys as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. And also don't forget to click on the notification bell to be notified anytime that we are going live throughout the off season. This has been the Go Bills podcast. We will see you next time for another edition of Player Analysis presented by GoBillsPodcast.com. Until that next show, Go Bills.